What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. All right, guys. So, today's episode is a special episode. Today is our 150th episode. Very exciting stuff. Round of applause for us. It's been great. It's been a good journey. I think we've been making good headway. Good amount of listeners, right, Josh? A lot of people, at least some people, interacting with us. We need more engagement, of course.
For sure.
I think one way to like really gauge what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to see, things that content that we can produce, especially because of this this little strike that's going on now. More on that on a different episode. We got to keep it on a bright up note. So for today's episode, since it is July as well, we are currently in the middle of the year. All right, it's the hottest time of the year,
unfortunately.
I think it's a good day to sit here and discuss what our top 10, at least movies of the year between January and July. All right.
June.
Yeah. Cutoff is July. So anything from
January to June.
Well, anything end of June and forward is basically fair game. All 2023 movies. I really would just want to break this down. I want to talk about it more because I feel like it'll give us a good perspective on like what we watch, what we're into, what you're into, what I'm into. What do you think we can expect from your list, Josh?
Same old stuff. I feel even with like a lot of movies coming back this year, I kind of feel very underwhelmed. You know what I mean? For the beginning of the year, I guess. February March, right? March was a big year. It had a lot of movies, but I don't know. I feel like the beginning of the year was really lacking, and we have Oppenheimer and Barbie coming out, and a lot more toward the end half of the year that I feel like are gonna shine a lot brighter than the beginning movies of the year.
I honestly, I don't know, man, because to be honest, I think this year has had a big comeback in movies. So much so that my wallet could not take it, bro. We
watched a lot of movies.
There's so much that like I wanted to catch in theaters. I still haven't watched Boogeyman. I've been wanting to watch that one for a while. I wanted to watch The Blackening. I still haven't been able to watch that. It's not really Insidious, but that's a July movie regardless. But there's a few that I really wanted to get, but it's just stacked. Like, I know for a fact, March and June took us for a fucking ride, bro.
They robbed the fuck out of us.
We fucking went to go see Across the Spider-Verse twice. They fucking robbed us, bro, and we happily
gave them the money.
Yeah, we were just like, here, take it from us. So I think there is a lot of movies, and I told you how many I've seen this year alone, and from January to like now, I think I've watched about 25 or 26 films. That is a lot of movies. There's still a lot that I still want to watch. Blackberry. What is that other one? The one with Mark Hamill and that one comedian.
The Machine.
The Machine. I still want to see that one too. That's one of them. And then there's some that I wish I could unsee, like The Outlaws, and
that shit was so garbage.
Yeah, man. There's some.
There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of bad ones. But the Outlaws. Let me tell you, The Outlaws, right? That's a Netflix original. And let me tell you, this is exactly why I kind of avoid Netflix originals. You're better than me because you watch Hulu originals all the time and all this and that. But like I avidly avoid them because I feel like it's either gonna be really good or really shit. And when it's shit, it's so shit.
Well, to be fair, I don't really like Netflix originals so much. So when I do find like a gold gem within that platform, I like it. Like Extraction, that's a gold gem.
Extraction.
I really loved that when I stumbled upon it. I was like, an action flick? Because I think before that one, Underground 6 came out with Ryan Reynolds. And though I didn't hate it, it wasn't the best for me. It just kind of satisfied my appetite for action flick kind of thing. And then Extraction came out like a few months after that, and then I watched that one. I was like, okay, so Netflix can do it right. It just depends on the creator, who they have on it.
I like Ryan Reynolds, but that one didn't really call my attention. But I liked Free Guy, and then I liked
I really liked Underground 6 because Ryan Reynolds and Michael Bay made that movie. Dude, it has like a Michael Bay feel.
What's that one with the kid?
Oh, the Adam Project.
Yeah,
that was
I
on
like
Netflix.
those. I like those too.
That one was good too. And to be fair with the Hulu ones, now I didn't like the Hulu ones so much before because they just felt cheap. But after the acquisition and they wound up purchasing 20th Century Fox, now everything goes to that platform. Everything that they were planning to stream, all the movies that they wanted to put in theaters, but they were like, you know what? We can save money on that. Let's put it to, streaming or whatever.
You saw the Hot Cheeto one, right?
I did.
I didn't.
You didn't watch it?
No.
It's actually good.
I saw it the other day when I was going through my watch list, and I was like, nah, I'll save this for later. I don't really feel like
and I honestly think that you'd like it too. I think you'd like that movie. It's just I think the problem with you is you don't give shit a chance, man. You don't. When I give it
a chance, they're garbage. The Outlaws was bad.
Hey man, you're gonna find some shit sometimes, but then it's not about avoiding the landmines, bro. It's about experiencing them.
Hulu does.
You know what movie that I wish I could scrub from my memory? You remember that alligator movie?
Alligator movie.
It was like about
Crawl. Yeah.
That was hot garbage, bro. That shit was so bad. That was the worst movie that I've seen in my entire life.
You're better off watching Sharknado.
I watched Sharknado. I watched them. I watched them up until number 3.
It was like
no, wait. Which one's the one with Frankie Muniz? I think that was 4. And I got done with them. I was like, okay, this is just too much. But I like goofy stuff. Like I like when movies don't take themselves serious all the time too. That's one thing that I fucking love. Like if you know that this concept won't work, but you can make fun of it and goof on it, and it plays well, I think it makes for a good movie and a good comedy.
Well, yeah, movie. There's a lot that are like that, and it's cool to be a part of. But as much as I enjoy something like that, I really enjoy complex movies too. You know what I mean? Something that'll prick your brain and be like, just so you can like undo multiple layers and stuff.
Well, I like that as well. And there's a time and a place, but there's times where you just want to watch a movie and just watch a movie. You know what I mean? Like I really like those complex. Give me layer after layer. Keep me intrigued the whole fucking time. I love thrillers. I love horror movies. It's just sometimes I want, like I told you, I was talking about it yesterday. I don't care if anybody knows it. I like rom-coms. I think my girl really got me into chick flicks too. They're not that bad. I think rom-coms I've always loved as a kid because they're comedy movies regardless. And I like that feeling of romance. But now that I'm even older, I appreciate them a little bit more because now I understand what they're going through. And I'm just like, damn, like this is actually a complex way to like kind of show love. Now you have the really dumb ones that remind you of like the early 2000s comedy rom-coms or whatever. Yeah. And I like those little throwbacks as well. But every single genre I feel has that potential of complexity. It's just more the director and how they see their vision, because there's some movies that they can really it's a simple rom-com and they really just put trauma, they put all kinds of things in the mix that really just make you feel like this person's going through shit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know. Some rom-coms are hit and miss for me.
But you got to give movies more of a chance. 100%. You got to give them more.
I do. But like when they're ass, I feel very robbed. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's an experience.
a shit experience.
Robbing is an experience. It's not the best feeling, but I would tell you, I would rather feel robbed from a movie than go out in the streets and get robbed out there. I would rather feel this kind of robbing.
I'd rather because like after the Flash, someone might as well have taken my money.
Okay, that one's
the Little Mermaid.
The Flash is a special case. I can admit. I
Mermaid?
felt like I got my ass kicked, and then they took my money from me.
The Little Mermaid.
I can't say that I felt
Totally
beat up
robbed.
and robbed. I feel like I got hoodwinked with that one because I was actually excited for it, and I was like, oh man, all these haters are gonna eat their words. Haley Bailey's gonna come out and fucking eat this movie up and shit like that, and I got blindsided with that one. That one was different. That's a different case. So the Flash, I knew that walking in there, I was potentially getting robbed, and I walked in there and there was like, I felt like I was about to get gangbanged. There was like 6 of them around me. I was like, what's going on?
Man, but yeah, interesting year for movies.
Yeah, man, it's been a good one. Like I said, I still want to see Transformers. I know I want to see that one. That's one of my anticipated ones.
Transformers for sure.
I know for a fact that I want to see like all superhero content as well, and sometimes it's just not going to happen.
Captain Marvel.
Is that one you're willing to skip?
Kind of, but I like Monica Rambeau.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be in it for her. We haven't seen her in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be down to see her again. There's but like all the ones that I'm really looking forward to now, like besides the few that were in the beginning of the year, I think I'm more excited for. You got Killers of the Flower Moon, Haunted Mansion's coming out. Like there's
those trailers are actually kind of bringing me in.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff like toward the back end. So like, I know we're gonna do our own review, but I'm looking forward to January when we do the full year.
Yeah,
like
the full year review. Yeah, because let's be honest, we have a top 10 list now.
Yes. Some of these are not going to make it to the end of the year.
Yeah, some of these are not going to make it to the end of the year. There was a few of them that I really had a struggle to see who was going to be put at the tail end.
Yeah.
I'll give one spoiler right now. Fast X did not make my top 10. 100%. That shit did not make my top 10. That shit was garbage, bro. There's no way.
Okay.
Not even Momoa could save it.
Oh.
But
you're better than me then.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
But I want to start getting into it. I want to start breaking down what you liked about them. I wanted to see what movies you got around to, and I kind of want to talk about the movies that I wound up getting around to as well. But before we start going down our list, PSA, I just want to let everybody know that there is a way to support us in a big way if you guys wanted to. Josh, let them know how.
Buzzsprout. Links are in our bios, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. You can hit us up there as well if you wanted to. But the links are there. You can subscribe. You get special perks, shout-outs to our movies. And, again, if you were to subscribe and give us a movie or whatever, you'd be top of the list. So go ahead and do all that. Why not? But let's get into this list, though.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to start from 10 to 1. 10 being the worst, 1 being our best. Josh, let us know what your first one is.
So I'll tell you right now, 9 and 10 are interchangeable. They're nothing special, but at the same time, it really depends on your mood.
Okay.
So number 10, I just seen it, 65 with Adam Driver. I know when the trailer came out, it kind of gave us a lot, but I really like this movie. Dinosaurs as a concept was like, it's fun, and I kind of enjoyed the ending. Like, I'm not gonna go into spoilers, but I enjoyed the ending. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I kind of enjoyed it for what it was, and I liked the little girl. She was a nice actress, and then the daughter of Adam Driver was actually really good casting, like you said. Scary casting,
spot on casting.
Yeah.
I still gotta see if that was like his daughter for reals or something.
It had a lot of good action pieces. I wish it had a lot more dinosaurs. There's nothing too spectacular about it though, because it is just another action flick.
Yeah.
Adam Driver, if you don't know where he's from, he was in Marriage Story with the Black Widow,
Scarlett Johansson.
He was in Star Wars, Kylo Ren. If you guys know that, know that, he was on a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, and he was basically the main guy.
Yeah, he was the main character.
And to be honest, when I seen the movie after watching it, I was like, yeah, I thought they gave a lot away in the trailer, and they kind of did. They could have saved a few things because the way they played it in the movie was kind of like a reveal in the beginning that there were going to be dinosaurs and whatnot. But the ending, that one kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
That one, I was like, okay, they at least saved something for some kind of like wow effect. You know what I mean? And I thought they did pretty well. The movie wasn't that bad.
It wasn't too bad. But again, there's nothing too spectacular here to be like this should be higher.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty average like action flick, I think. And like, how can you go wrong with dinosaurs? You know what I mean?
And I told you too. Like, Universal has just been fucking the only studio to ever put out any dinosaur movies.
They be beating the fuck out of dinosaurs.
Unless you want to like say Warner Brothers has Godzilla, but I mean that doesn't
technically doesn't count.
Yeah, as a dinosaur, right? It's a lizard, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay,
count.
But yeah, so
radioactive lizard.
To see a different studio come out with a take on dinosaurs really, really hits different because you know, you're not seeing the same Jurassic World or, you know, even with Meg, it still has that feeling of Jurassic World because it's coming from the same studio. So I can't really.
What's crazy is like the way they handled dinosaurs here. Like, there's nothing too groundbreaking, but I kind of feel like they did a lot of good like scary elements to make you think like, holy shit, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like, I like the prehistoric look.
Yeah.
Like the big ass bugs, like those were fucking. Like, those are fucking cool.
I know. When he squished the one behind his neck and everything, it was all like all over the place. That was
big
cool
ass
too.
Fucking bugs. Dude.
Yeah.
Kind of like the way the dinosaurs look too.
And an emotional story.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna get an emotional story out of it, but to be honest, at the end of everything, when like the big reveals happened,
it
was surprisingly emotional.
Yeah. So I mean, Sony can go wrong, but usually when they hit the mark, they do pretty well.
Yeah, and like I said, to me this movie is like an average flick, like an average, like if you want to turn your brain off. This is that kind of movie where I'm just like, okay, you could, you know, it's not too complex. You'll feel the emotional beats. It's still a good movie.
Solid pick, I feel.
I'd recommend it 100%. Yeah.
What's your number 10?
Yeah, number 10. All right, so my number 10. I'm coming out the gate swinging with you. John Wick Chapter 4.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dog. John Wick Chapter 4.
No way.
Keanu Reeves is in it. Obviously, we know him from The Matrix. Lawrence Fishburne, The Matrix as well. Lance Reddick, R.I.P. He made his final appearance in these franchises. He's gonna be making a Hellboy, animated Hellboy it's a video game, and he's gonna be the voice of it. So if you guys are excited for that, Chad Stahelski coming out swinging with a fourth installment. To be honest, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best for me.
What the fuck?
It was average. And I honestly was expecting more and I rewatched all the movies, and when I got to the fourth part. Now, Chad Stahelski this is his first like project to actually direct. He's kind of like the director of Extraction, Sam Hargrave, where he started as a stunt double. Hilariously, he was Keanu Reeves' stunt double for like so many years.
Oh, that's interesting.
So he was around to do stunt work and, you know, do a lot of the epic beats from like obviously The Matrix. He did all those. So coming to this fourth one, I was expecting more, and it just seemed like the same boom pow gun pow pow, and as much as I loved it, it didn't really hold a candlestick to, like, you know, we just recently watched Extraction, and we kind of compared those two movies together, and, you know, with Chris Hemsworth's main character, Tyler Rake, you know, he had fatigue. He would get hit and he would fall down, even if it wasn't a bulletproof vest. Like, you would feel the hits, and it would just
told you, that's my problem with John Wick movies too.
Exactly. And like with this one, exactly how they do it in every single movie, or from the second one on, is they basically, in the beginning, they give him his plot armor, which is his bulletproof vest that can literally take anything, and nothing happens to him. And it takes a lot of the realism out for me. So coming into this one, I was excited because everybody was bragging and boasting about it, saying that it was another epic part. I did like some scenes. I liked the Bill Skarsgård. He was cool, but he didn't really do anything different that really made it stand out. I think the person that they should have revolved it around was that fat dude that that casino boss. He was
yeah.
more eye popping to me
Mm.
than any other villains that were in this movie.
You didn't like Danny Yen?
I didn't like him because it wasn't believable.
That's fair.
A lot of people were praising it, saying that he should have his own spin-off and stuff like that. But I was like, how the fuck would he do any of this? And you're telling me nobody could have just shot him, sniped him, and been done with it? Like, this dude is blind. In the real world, he didn't even have like anything cool. He was just blind and randomly shooting people. So I was like, no, it wasn't really.
Well, that's not entirely fair because there was that scene. Slight spoiler. The scene where he uses the motion detectors was pretty cool.
Yeah, and like I said, they try to figure out ways around it, but then they would do another scene later on that completely contradicts it. Like, it would just, like, a second ago he was using sound machines, and now he can just easily sneak up on people and hear them and know where they're going. And then that plot armor where all of a sudden he didn't know where he was when him and John Wick were finally going at it, and he breaks through the glass and he just doesn't move, and he's just like, oh, he's dead now. But a second ago, he was blasting at the floor when he didn't think he was dead. You know what I mean? Last place he heard, he was already shooting because he wanted to just get it done with. And it just very inconsistent. But
very inconsistent.
I will say that it did something. It was an average flick for me. And I will tell you, it's hilarious. Like, you put 65 as your top 10 because 65 and John Wick Chapter 4 were competing for that 10 slot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
We're going to have to spend the block on that one.
But go ahead. No, I want to hear your rebuttal.
That's crazy because, no. like even my beef with the whole plot armor stuff, this movie still had a lot going for it. I will give you that it had no dialogue. Almost no dialogue.
Yeah, no,
but
nothing.
When we did get something, it felt very serious and like emotional.
What'd you get?
Like Bill Skarsgård, every scene he was with, talking to what's his name?
He was just mad and yelling at him.
The hotel dude. What's his fucking name?
Oh, Ian McShane. Yeah, the
like,
Winston.
Like their scenes together were pretty fucking raw. It sucks that.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it sucks that what's his name dies, but every scene they had together was like really good. John Wick again. Keanu Reeves just every so often, like, you know what I mean. Like you can really feel like he's not here to do much but fight.
Yeah, he's just here to put the face
cool.
on the poster.
Donnie Yen was cool. I liked him, even though it made no sense. He still I can believe he, because like think about what he was in Rogue One, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really have much either, but you can be like, oh, the forces was guiding him. You know what I mean?
Okay,
but he was blind there too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I can vibe with him being blind and like kicking ass this way.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it too much. I like the tracker dude too. I feel like he should have done more.
I think so too. I feel like when they recaptured me into the movie with him, and I was really getting invested.
Yeah.
They just
like, I like the whole relationship. I know it's like small, but John Wick and like going to protect the dog because he knows what it's like to lose a dog.
Oh, okay.
Like, I kind of enjoyed that little piece of like heartfeltness, I guess. Had a lot of good action scenes that I feel revolved around like not just guns, but a lot more sword fights too. I know that it's hard to get lost in all the hand-to-hand combat because, you know, gun tricks are cool, but that whole sequence where what's his name is fighting, or where Donnie Yen is fighting the dude with the sword, like, that was pretty sick. Yeah,
but it was unbelievable because it was like, how is this blind man being able to fight this dude so avidly when he can easily, you know what I mean? It was just, I
don't know.
Like, I trusted it as much as I could. And even that scene where like he was acting like a badass standing over the body and like cutting him up slowly, I was just like, dude, you can't believe this shit. Like, it was just, for me at least, it was just unbelievable.
Like, it's interesting. Like, I kind of like, it's cool it made your top 10, but it shouldn't have been that low.
Oh,
that's my beef.
Maybe you just haven't been watching pure cinema lately. How about that?
No.
You ever thought about that one? You haven't
seen The Bear. You wouldn't know what pure cinema is.
Fun fact: I started watching it. I'm on episode 2.
Very More nice. On that later. No.
Yeah. No. It's actually been going pretty good. So, God, fun fact, just if that makes a little bit more.
It does. My hostility can chill out now.
Yeah, because you gotta know. I gotta finish watching greatness.
Yeah.
All right,
moving on with it?
Yeah, if that's all you got a rebuttal.
That's all I got.
Okay. Number 9.
Unless we do the up to 6. Then
we'll probably
talk
spin
about
the
it.
block on 5.
So, like I said, 9 and 10, interchangeable. But I feel like I enjoyed this one a little bit more. All right, don't come from my neck. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
It's Fast X.
Damn.
It was
Okay.
If you guys don't know, stars Vin Diesel. He was also in the other Fast and Furious movies. The same gang: Ludacris, Tyrese Gibson, all these other people. But the newest installments being Jason Momoa and the dude that plays Reacher. I forget his name.
Oh yeah, I forgot his name too.
I
have it on your phone.
I have it right here. Sorry. It's fuck. Scroll faster. No. Well, there's John Cena. He's also new.
John Cena made an appearance.
Alan Rickson.
Oh yeah, Alan
Alan
Rickson.
Rickson. They were both cool. I feel like they saved that movie for me. I know what you're gonna say, but I think Jason Momoa is just worth watching at this point. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna watch it, go watch it for Jason Momoa. That's it. But like I said, he can't carry it entirely, and it is an average action film. Probably the worst in the franchise, depending on where you stand. But like I said, 9 and 10 are just interchangeable.
Yeah, no, Fast X would not have made my top 10. That's crazy. Momoa does save it. Rickman does kind of save it too. Because I already said it, I've already explained it, but 8, 9, and X now, it's really they're kind of on their own little side missions. Whereas 7 for me is when like the Fast Saga kind of stopped in my head. Yeah. But now I'm on X, and with 8 I can say that I like that whole beef with Dom and Cypher with the whole baby being revealed and stuff, that I can watch that one. So that's kind of my go-to to be like, oh, I can see this one. Yeah. And 9, there's not really
9 loses.
Yeah, that one kind of loses it for me. But I mean, if I want to say something, is the absurdity of the tricks and them going into space. So if I do want to just numb my brain and just want to watch it, that's fine. And at least with X, I can say that Momoa and Rickman can, if I could skip 9 and just go straight to X, I will watch it just for them, basically. But I would not go out of my way to, like I said, 7 is when it ended for me. The rest of them at this point, after walking out of X, that's where the one where I felt robbed, and I was just like, there's no point. There's no point in going on anymore. Yeah. Like, don't even make part 2. Just leave it at this. What happened to them? We don't know. Did Dom make it? We don't know. Just leave it.
They just all died. They're all dead. This franchise ended like that. But
the
no,
end.
like
Momoa wins. Checkmate.
I don't know. I really enjoyed most of X. I know a lot of it was kind of just whatever, but Jason Momoa really carried it for me because I feel like I can go back and just really enjoy his performance and have a good laugh. I gotta be real with you, Jason. Like this movie isn't known for that, but like John Cena's decision to die and then just rockets over the thing and explodes into a.
Why'd they do it in slow motion?
Yeah, I know.
Why'd they do it?
He's like, I had enough time to evacuate. like, I can have a good laugh with this.
Did he have to crash his car into it though? Didn't he unblock the rockets? Why didn't he just shoot the rockets at the car?
I don't know. Man.
The middle beam was low enough that the rockets.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, we don't just talk about it.
We don't.
Okay.
We don't.
Very good.
But 9 and 10 are interchangeable. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, so they could fight for top 65. I would have said, if that was me, I would have said Fast X 10, 65. 9.
I was debating that like heavily, but then I was like,
Momoa.
Momoa was really what bumped it up. I was just like Adam Driver, Momoa, and then what saved it is like it's not even Momoa's movie, but he still shined the brightest. Adam Driver, I know what he can do. Marriage Story is a great fucking movie, but he just, to me, he was really working with what he had, and while it was good, it wasn't anything groundbreaking either.
Makes sense. I get you. Very good.
What's your number 9?
My number 9. Dog, you're gonna really be like, what the fuck? My number 9 is Renfield. Yeah. So
what the fuck? Why?
Directed by Chris McKay. Nicholas Hoult is in this movie. He's he's an X-Men. He's in The Menu. If you've seen that one,
I have not yet. No.
Yeah, no. The Menu's pretty good with him in it. Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, Superman. If you seen The Flash, what other movie? He's done so much movies. Face Off. I don't know. I don't know why I'm dropping. Next, yeah, I don't know why I'm.
If you're old enough to remember Next, you're a fucking goat.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
If you remember that one, you're a fucking goat.
As of recently, he was also in the one with Pedro Pascal. For those who like Pedro Pascal.
Oh yeah, that talent one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aquafina's in this one.
Yeah.
She was Scuttle in The Little Mermaid, depending on if you liked her or not in that one.
She was in
Shang-Chi. She was in that one. That's basically all the big names that were really in that movie. The rest were kind of like whatever names. But to be honest, if you want a comedy movie and vampires, this is the movie you go to. Nicolas Cage was acting his ass off, bro. Like I kid you not. You never wanted to see Dracula until you see Nicolas Cage as Dracula.
I know you're explaining your 10 cents, but we watched it, or I tried watching it with you guys, and besides the fact that I had to go edit, I was cringing so bad. I've never eaten my food that fast before. I was like, I gotta go, bro.
I don't think you were paying attention, because it was actually okay. The beginning was kind of rocky. I will admit that, but after they get past his whole cheesy classic backstory to get to the now, when Aquafina is introduced and all that, that's when the comedy starts happening. I think the one thing I can say was really bad about this movie was the CGI, the blood. There was a lot of scenes with blood that just fake, and it was weird because it would spatter. Fake blood would spatter, and then there would be nothing on the walls.
They were just we gotta clean this bitch up.
Yeah, it's there would be nothing. So I would say that was the only thing that would really take me out. But if you want to see comedy, if you want to see Nicolas Cage acting his ass off, if you want to see Nicholas Hoult in a different kind of because I know he does a lot of serious, or he does a lot of action, and this one he does action with comedy. So it really does a lot. And seeing him in this movie and seeing the range he has really makes me feel worse that he missed out on Superman and Batman. But I thought I thought he was really good in this one, and I honestly think that this movie deserves to be on someone's top 10.
If it's as good as you're saying, I'll go back and I'll rewatch. But that beginning half was really turning me down. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, because it was it was all the exposition of basically and I think that's the point, and that's what I mean, is that you got to give it a chance, because it wasn't taking itself seriously. It was making fun of the whole classic Dracula story. So it was being in a way a parody, but his origin story. Yeah. So I thought it was pretty good. It's a funny movie to me.
Okay.
So you never finished? No, you never came back to watch it?
I don't really have too much to say about it because I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
But the beginning half was kind of I thought it was kind of cringy. I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go edit or something.
He said, all you heard was the vacuum turn on, all the food disappeared, and then he dipped out.
I'm like, all right, I'm done. I gotta go do something else. But I wasn't really vibing with it too much. And I know Nicolas Cage is coming back into the light of acting, which this is fine. I know this is up his alley of doing just whatever the fuck he wants. But I guess I can go check it out again if you're really recommending it. The top 10 is an interesting.
I will 100% recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then. I guess we're moving on to 8.
Yeah, number 8. What's your number 8?
Number 8. Okay. So my number 8 is Air. Has Ben Affleck. He was Batman. My Batman. Matt Damon. He was the Martian, right? The Martian. He was Good Will Hunting. If you guys know cinema. Yeah. He would big names for sure. And then I think Ben Affleck also directed, if I'm not wrong.
You're doing Air?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did direct this one.
Yeah. So Ben Affleck, director. This movie, surprisingly, really good. I was not expecting it to be as good as I thought. While I do think Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, it's a stacked cast actually. It's Ben Affleck, it's Matt Damon, it's the dude, Jason Bateman, Viola Davis, Julius Tenen, Chris Tucker, a lot of good names tied to this movie. Marlon Wayans was in it for a little bit. Kind of threw his character away, I gotta be real, but they were just it was interesting.
Okay.
It was basically the premise, nothing too major. It's about how they came up with Air Jordan. and the story behind that shoe.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting story. I did enjoy it for what it was, and I know a lot of people were like, "Well, why wasn't Michael Jordan more in it?" And I'm like, it's not about Michael Jordan. While they do touch upon his legacy and like what he will become, because around this time it's the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about the shoe and how it isn't about the. It's not about the. It's not just about the player. It's about the player and he's stepping into the shoe or whatever. So stepping into greatness is like its metaphor or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
This movie was good. Everyone kind of gave a really good performance. My only problem and what stops it from getting higher, it drags on. I told you, it just drags on. Because without getting too heavy into spoilers, what happens toward the end makes you think, okay, this is it. They get the deal. That's not a huge spoiler. We know how it's real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like based on real life. They get the deal, and then it drags on for like another like 15, 20 minutes. And I was kind of like, well, that kind of throws me off because I was like, I was really expecting this movie to be done quicker.
Yeah.
Or a lot sooner. But that's about it. That's my only gripe with this movie. And that's why it's stopping it itself from going any higher.
Damn. Yeah. Spoiler alert, this movie didn't make my top 10 either. It was boring to me.
Really?
So the fact that it really like made it up there with you, and it really hurts me to say that because Ben Affleck is a director. I've seen The Town. I've seen what's that other one he's done? Damn, the one with Jeremy Renner. I can't think of it off top, but like he's a great director and he's a great actor, and the acting was good. The premise was nice. It was too long. There was a lot of exposition that, in my opinion, they would talk about something in preparation, and then they talk about the same thing in a meeting or something, and it doesn't go the right way. So then they tweak it just a little bit, and they kind of move on. But
yeah,
I thought it was good. The acting and everything was great in it. I think one thing too that really wasn't sitting with me as well was that well, maybe it's kind of hard to find somebody who can look like Michael Jordan, or maybe maybe not showing him was on purpose on Ben Affleck's part, like a metaphor type thing. Like anybody could be the person to step in that shoe, like how you were saying. It just so happens that this one's Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I can give it points for that, but it didn't really do anything different. And at some points I will admit I got bored. I was just, it's too much. I like Ben Affleck's character though.
I was more, a lot of it was good. I like Ben Affleck was really good out to me. I liked mostly when they were actually talking about the shoe. Oh, yeah. And Viola Davis. She gives a really good performance here too.
Viola Davis, and I also like...
She was Amanda Waller, for those curious.
Yeah. And she was playing the mother of Michael Jordan in this one.
Yeah.
Who else was it? It was the dude that... the scenes were with the dude that was designing the shoe. That was nice
that's
too.
what I'm saying. Like, when he was like talking about the shoe and designing it and stuff, he really... he was really good. Interesting. I like the ending when like they're giving credit to everybody, and it showed like, not a huge spoiler, but the dude died months before the movie was announced or whatever. So that was kind of sad to see.
Yeah.
But I guess his legacy gets to live on a little bit in the movie.
Yeah, I remember that. They did say that at the end, huh? Yeah, that's crazy.
But like a lot of it when they were talking about the shoe rather than the dealing about the shoe was really nice. And then what picked it up for me was seeing that whole like montage thing. And then like I said, I thought it was gonna be over after that, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, no,
it just drags on a little bit.
That's what I thought too. I thought the montage, and then it was gonna like fade to black and be like Nike, show the slogan, and then kind of give you that where they are now type shit. But no, they kept going just a little longer. Ben Affleck was like, "You're gonna look at it," you know what I mean? And I was like, "I'm looking." One eye open, but I'm looking.
Ben Affleck's character was really fun too.
Yeah.
I like that the lawyer or whatever, his Michael Jordan's representative or whatever the fuck he was, his agent. Sorry, he was funny. A lot of this movie does a lot, and I think it's pretty good for what it is. But again, just that runtime could have shortened it a little bit. Ben Affleck, but that's about it.
Just a tad bit. Makes sense. But my number 8, we're on 8, right?
Yes.
You're gonna I already know
I swear to God,
you're gonna
man.
look sideways at my list, bro, and it's gonna be the funniest thing to me. But my number 8 goes to D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Amongst Thieves.
What the fuck?
Has Johnston Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein directing. The first time directing a film. They were more screenplay people. This is their first time directing. Chris Pine, he was in Wonder Woman. We seen him in '84 as well.
Yeah.
He does a lot of these little side movies
This
for
Means
Warner
War
Brothers. Yeah,
with,
this
with
Means
Tom
War.
Hardy.
Yeah, that one's good too. Michelle Rodriguez is in this one. You've seen her in Fast X. She's in all of the Fast
She's
and
from
Furious.
that famous franchise, the Fast and Furious franchise.
Justin Smith, he was in Pikachu, Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
He was in a few other little films. And that's basically the whole main cast. There's a few other notable people throughout the movie, and the reason why I put this one up there is because this one, for what it is, it has good CGI, which is crazy because I thought I was missing out on what good CGI was. This movie has amazing CGI. I know you don't really like medieval movies, and this is probably why you don't really like see it as a oh wow kind of thing.
Yeah.
But them making it make sense, and it felt like I didn't have to like have played the game to know what's happening. Like they really explained what they were doing. It had comedy. Michelle Rodriguez was kicking ass. Chris Pine was hilarious. There was a few scenes where I just busted out laughing. Like it was fucking funny.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest experience because I never thought I'd get this kind of enjoyment out of this kind of movie. But all in all, this movie really was well put together, and I will say this movie is so underappreciated that it bombed in the box office, and I would have loved to see sequels of this one. This movie was actually really good for a Dungeons and Dragons movie, and I literally did not expect it at all.
I guess that's fair. I didn't see it. I think I walked in when you were watching it, but you were like halfway through, and I was like, I'm not gonna sit here for this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not too. I mean, now that you talk about it, I guess like it sounds like it would have been nice to see, but I don't know. There's something about that whole genre where I'm like, I'm not vibing with it. But if you say it's like it does better at explaining than all that than the games, because my understanding was that you would have to understand the games and stuff like that to be like into it. But if they could explain it just fine, then cool. Fun thing, did you see what they were doing during the press tour for that movie though? They had them roll the giant dice.
Oh yeah.
And Chris Pine didn't want to do it.
Oh really?
He didn't do it. Everyone else did it, but he didn't.
What an asshole.
They were like, "You want to roll or die?" And he was like, "Nah." And then he walked away. And then you had Michelle Rodriguez do it, and she was like, "Oh, I got a 20 or whatever the fuck."
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why Harry Styles spit on him.
He didn't spit on him. He didn't spit on him.
The spit gate's real, bro.
No, man.
Spit gate's real.
No, he didn't spit on him.
Context. There's a video out there that during the "Don't Worry, Darling," apparently there was some beef between Chris Pine and Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde, saying that, I think Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles were dating at the time. Cheating rumors were going around, and sure enough, next thing you know, it was a viewing party, and there's a video of him spitting on his lap.
It wasn't spit. It looks like he spit. He didn't spit.
What was he doing then? He literally went, Tui.
No, he didn't.
I heard it.
Interesting. I don't know. Maybe I will go back and watch it. Hearing your list makes me think about like if I'm actually missing out. But at the same time, I don't know if I'm like vibing with D&D as a whole.
I wasn't either. I honestly, like, when this movie was coming out, the only reason why I was interested, because Michelle Rodriguez and Chris Pine, and Justin Smith, like, I thought I've seen him in enough movies to be like, okay, this could actually be something, good. And during the trailers and stuff, it kind of looked a little too corny for me. And knowing what kind of audience D&D kind of, brings in.
Fucking nerds. That's what you were thinking.
I wasn't gonna say it out loud, but I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I know the audience that it brings in, so it wasn't really something that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be interested. I'm gonna go and watch this. So that's why I was like, this movie for me was a streaming movie. But now thinking about it, this is where I'm just like, damn, this is where I got to take more chances in movies, because I could have watched this in theaters, and it could have probably been a lot better in theaters because there was a lot of like spectacle in there that was, I felt would have looked really good on the big screen.
Nah, man, this movie came out in March. We made our picks.
Yeah,
we made our picks.
Yeah,
one
of them had to eat shit, and Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
was
there was
the
no
one.
way you were gonna watch this movie. March was too stacked.
Yeah, man. But since you haven't seen it, there's no rebuttal there. But I hope that at the end of it all, with everything too, I hope that this list not only brings in you to like show different stuff. Same thing with your list. If you watch stuff that I don't watch or whatever, like hopefully it brings light to me, brings light to you and those who listen and be like, now I'm gonna watch this one, and then now they got a new comfy fave that they can sit at home and drink their abuelita coco. But number 7, Josh, let us know what it is, man.
Number 7, I actually really enjoyed this one. I'm sure you're gonna look at me like, what the fuck, too.
I'm gonna look at you sideways. I already know it.
It's Evil Dead Rise.
Oh,
I kind of enjoyed this one quite a bit. If my friends are listening to this one, you guys kind of ruined the experience. I gotta be real, but I did my best to enjoy it, regardless.
Why were they clowning on it?
No, they weren't clowning. Well, yeah, they were kind of clowning on it when scenes would happen, and I was like, "Dog, y'all need to shut up." And then they started talking about their random ass politics, and I was like, "Shut up!" And I was kind of at that point, I was like a little pissed, but I think I still kind of enjoyed the movie for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I will go back and rewatch it, but
okay.
But this movie, it doesn't do much. It doesn't do anything groundbreaking, which I thought it would have. Maybe that's why it's so low. Because as good as the kills were, it still felt tame. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like even that big monster toward the end was cool to watch. I was gonna be so pissed. Like if they wouldn't have shown what it looked like, I would have been so mad. I would have been like, you don't tease my brain with a creepy ass monster like this and not show it. You know what I mean? So when they showed it, I was like, okay, that saved it immediately.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's why it was so tame. Because like no spoiler. Sorry, she kills those people. Not saying who, but they don't really show that.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, what the fuck? Now we're just focused on the family.
Yeah.
They killed all the extra people.
Yeah.
But now I know why. They were saving it for that.
Mm.
So that kind of saved it in my book. Everyone here does pretty well acting wise. Lily Sullivan, Alyssa Sutherland, Morgan Davies, Gabrielle Eccles, random ass name, Nell Fisher. I'm not too sure where they've been in otherwise. Oh, Lily Sullivan was.
I think they were all like new and upcoming actors.
Yeah, and there's not much here that. Alyssa Sutherland was in Don't Look Up.
Oh yeah, for like a second. It wasn't a big thing.
So I guess they're upcoming actors, which is fine. But it stops at 7 though, because of it doesn't do much like the 2014 one does. The 2014 one scared the fuck out of me. 2013 one scared the fuck out of me. This one had a lot of good scenes, but it felt too tame for a movie, especially after coming out of the 2013 one. Yeah. Like we watched that one together, and afterward I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it no more. But this one was cool. Had enough good scenes in it. I liked most of the dynamics here. And as far as the scary movie goes, in the middle of what? It came out June?
Mm-hmm.
Like, pretty good for what it was. But it stops at 7 because it could have done more.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I respect it because it's a horror movie, and anybody who says horror movies make their top 10, I give it 100 because I'm just like, not a lot of horror movies do that for people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, I will give you that. But this one completely, for me at least, another spoiler, it doesn't even make my top 10 either. And at least for me, this one just. You're right thinking about it. You putting it that way is that like it is too tamed, and not only is it too tamed, but it just felt very like what I was watching it on, which was streaming. You know what I mean? And I did my best to remove myself from like obviously the original Evil Dead, the 2013 one that that you're talking about as well. but none of them hold a candle. That one couldn't even hold a candlestick to this one, especially with the way that they handled certain things. Like there's stuff that happened in the original and then 2013 one that stayed consistent, and this one it just completely
fucks up lore.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the other ones and you don't know nothing of it and you watch this one, this might make you an Evil Dead a fan. But then you're gonna want to go watch the other ones, and you're gonna watch those, and you're gonna look at this one and be like,
no, that's totally inconsistent.
yeah, it is a little inconsistent. So if you like this one, I appreciate it, and it is a good little flick. If I want to watch a little horror movie, I would probably put that one.
Yeah.
But I will say it kind of lacked the scares for me, because I know the original one really was scary for me. The second one too, and the 2013 version as well. That one was just like, it didn't have a lot of jump scares, but that one made you creeped out with like the blood and all the extra stuff that was happening. And this one, it didn't have the blood and it didn't have the jump scare so much, so it just really was just like,
it was just too tame.
But the ending was good. I will say the ending.
The ending saved it.
The build up was what really made this movie passable for me.
Yeah. The ending saved it, honestly, because I mean, minor spoiler, but the mom kind of disappears throughout like half the movie after the fact, after they lock her out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that kind of ruins it, because you're like, she was the
best part,
the best actor probably there. You know what I mean? Like, relying on children. I know that's fucked up to say, because children actors can do a good job.
Should have saw that eye roll, guys.
But
was
like,
crazy.
but like, she was definitely the best by far, and they really underutilized her, which is fucking insane. But she was really good. My favorite part by far. Then the kids were fine. They did the best in whatever scenes they could. When shit starts going sideways for them, I felt it. I was like, okay, they're trying their best. But killing kids must still be taboo, because there was not much here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they kind of shied away from it, kind of a bit. I'm like, we've seen kids die before.
Yeah,
and that would have probably
like
hit a little bit harder if they would have done
like that scene. Not to heavy spoil, but that scene with the pole, like, you know what I mean? The stick.
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah,
like that was pretty sick, but there should have been more of that. There just wasn't, which is very unfortunate. But 7 is where it's at, because it could have done more. It just didn't. And again, too tame for this series, especially coming out of 2013 when 2013 one scared the fuck out of me, bro. I was just like, can't do this. After this one, I was like, okay, that was fine.
Well, good thing you didn't watch that one as a child, because that would have scarred you for a while. Yeah, I watched that one when I was like, 2013, I was like a teenager. I was like 15 or so, or 17 or 16. So when that one came out, I was like, oh my god, yeah, that one would have traumatized me 100%. But yeah, you done praising Evil Dead Rise?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, all right. Well, I give it to you. I give it as a horror fan to another. Well, you're not a big horror fan, but somebody who
a horror enjoyer.
Yeah, a horror enjoyer. I give it to you. But moving on to my number 7. My number 7 is gonna be Flaming Hot.
Okay.
The reason, and now this is Eva Longoria's first directorial debut, but she was in Housewives or Desperate Housewives or something, and she does cameos in like little rom-coms and little chick flicks here and there. Like, you'll see her once in a while, but this is like her first time directing, and there's a lot of actors on here that were like first time.
Yeah.
Like Jesse Garcia, Annie Gonzalez. We've seen Tony Shalhoub in different places. He was in 13 Ghosts.
Yes.
He was in Monk. The little TikTok boy was on here. Carlos Sanchez. He was on here. He was it was really good to see him, because if you guys know, he was on TikTok. His father had passed away from cancer. Yeah. So it was kind of sad, and I know he's on that Lopez versus Lopez show or something like that. So to see him in this one and actually see him act, not bad for acting.
Okay.
And I know if you guys heard a couple episodes ago on the podcast, I talked about Blue Beetle and how like the trailer always conveys Mexicans as, you know, needing family and everything. This movie's the same way. Okay. It's all about family or whatever, but it really stands out because, one, this movie's straight to the point. It lets you know the facts. It doesn't overeat like Air did. You know what I mean? I feel like Air kind of did over exposition. This one is just letting you know what it needs you to know, how the hot Cheetos were made, how, you know, he went from this to that very effectively.
Yeah.
The family support, all the family that I like I said, seeing that TikTok kid there was surprising that he actually did a good job, because I was worried that he was gonna ruin the whole effect.
Yeah.
But everybody, it being their first like big major roles, because they all are all sprinkled around like in cameos and little things here and there, little or projects, TV shows and whatever. So this one being their first major role, they did a good job. They did a good job, and I will say that this one, it being a Hulu original, because it is a Hulu original, really surprised me. Even how we were talking about Eva Longoria and what she was saying that
something about female directors.
Yeah, female directors not getting the budget or a second chance or whatever, blah blah blah. Like, this movie shows that, you know, she didn't have to make excuses. Like, it was actually a good watch, and I thought it was very inspiring for a movie. A movie about hot Cheetos, because it was not a lot of movies inspire you like that, and the hard work that is put into it, and showing that little grind and people going against you, and it add that little extra layer of trauma with the father and family issues and stuff like that. It was well executed, very well done, good movie.
Okay, so we both kind of have biopics in our lower half, right? Would you damn, what was it? I just had it like in my head, but I like just lost it. But us both having like small biopics in our movies, would you say like that they're just, do these things work better as a, like, for products or for people? I guess, like,
biopics,
does a movie really work when it's talking about hot Cheetos? You know what I mean? How they're created, how the shoe behind Michael Jordan, you know what I mean? Like, do those work better than a movie that's actually about Michael Jordan or NWA? You know, like, product versus the people.
That's a good one. Damn, that is a good question.
Because Air, for me, it felt very motivational. What do you call it? Pretty much up to the point of that montage, and then it drags on. But that's like I felt very motivated. Like, Matt Damon's character being that motivated to like get what he wants, really to me was like spoke volumes, because it's like he didn't quit when people told him to quit. You know? He small spoiler again, but talking to Viola Davis' character, could have fired him, and he was still like, fuck it. You know what I mean? So like I'm just curious.
I think it depends on the execution, and I don't think product or people, because I've seen some biopics about people that I didn't like. Like, there's a few of them, like we've seen about like Tupac and stuff, that some are really good and some of them are like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And comparing Air and comparing Flaming Hot together, both them being about products, Air was just not direct enough where Flaming Hot was. And there was this sense of danger over here with Air, but only in the beginning when he was like, I can lose my job if I don't do this right.
The stakes were that, like...
But they never reinforced it. He was doing whatever the fuck he wanted, and they still were like, you're going to lose your job. And he was like, fire me. And he was just going to... He still did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. Whereas in Flaming Hot, there was that sense of danger. Like, it's not a big spoiler, but because it's actual historical stuff. But, like, at one point, chip companies weren't doing so well, because, you know, people weren't buying certain ones or whatever. Now the business is booming. You see a bunch of chips. That portion wasn't doing so well, so factory workers were losing their job. Yeah. So there was that sense of, damn, how am I going to fend for my family? How I was going to do it? Maybe that hit a little bit more home for me because, you know, family and everything. I'm Mexican. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows if I was just like, damn, the beaner in me was like, what the fuck? But,
I agree with him.
Yeah. But like, that sense of danger of being losing your job, and then, you know, them actually reinforcing that, because later on in the movie they actually do something that really hits home, where it's like, damn, it's actually happening. Yeah. Air didn't do that. It was just like, you're gonna get fired, and he was like, well, yeah, whatever, and then kept going.
I'm still gonna secure it, and then
yeah, and then wound up doing it, which was good.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, but you're not gonna tell me you're. It seemed like they were just dragging on a story that could have been a little bit shorter, and Flamin' Hot just did what it needed to do, let you know what it was, and had that sense of danger and feel and everything. When you have like autobiographies where you're not telling us the crazy parts with the stale parts, it's like, if it's too crazy, it's like, was he crazy all the time? Then how did this and this XYZ?
Yeah.
If he's too tamed, it's like, well, he had a crazy side. So what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Where'd it go?
You got to feed us that tamed with the crazy to let us know that his life wasn't one singular. If it's like
there was ups and downs like normal life.
Exactly.
Was so then you said the female director, I totally spaced on her name.
Evelyn Goria.
Yeah. So she did good for her first outing then.
I would say she did pretty decent for her first outing. I don't think she did anything hella crazy with the camera work, but I will say she does have the eye for angles. And you know, women have the eye for angles. So not trying to, you know, lump her up, but she had that eye for like which scenes needed to be all the way out here to show you that dynamic, and then when it would like slowly pan in, like it was pretty good. She did a good job. Yeah, she did good.
That's cool.
I would say that if she had a chance, she should. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out so she can get a chance at another one, because apparently she doesn't get second chances.
Apparently there's no chances to fail, which doesn't make much sense. But yeah, that's cool. I wasn't expecting that much out of that kind of film. I told you it didn't really scream to me to watch. But I guess I'll add it to the watching list eventually.
Worth a watch. But with that, since you haven't seen it, what's your number 6? And then I kind of want to spin the block on whatever movies you put up there.
My number 6, Extraction 2. It would have been higher. What was that?
Excuse me?
It's Extraction 2.
6?
Yes. All the other ones, I promise, are a lot better than this one.
A lot better. All right.
Extraction 2 picks up where the first one left off, kind of, sort of. Really good camera work, good direction, good action scenes. I just couldn't follow through with the story too well, though. Like we talked about it earlier, getting coffee, but like this one should have done something a lot more, like focus on side characters and all that more than Chris Hemsworth, I think.
But they fucking did.
Well, no, a little bit more.
They did, though.
No, they did a lot more than the first one. There's a lot more than the first one. But this movie was their time to really just motivate everyone, and it just didn't. And then Chris Hemsworth felt flat in this one. Like, he didn't really get that development, like you said.
I didn't say you get into development. I said they took some away.
Chris Hemsworth, he's Thor. A lot of more Bollywood actors here. But yeah, 6. It's at 6 because if I put it any higher, I couldn't have my top 5. My top 5 deserve to be there. Although 5 might piss you off, so just a little spoiler, I guess.
It's the fucking Flash. I fucking knew it. He was an op.
Hell
he was an
no.
op.
That one didn't even that movie is never making my list.
It's not on the top 10.
If it was the movie James Gunn hyped it up to be, sure, but no, it wasn't at all.
Damn. Yeah, no, you're dead wrong with that one, buddy.
No,
that's crazy. That is too high.
Let me find out that was. Word? Is it not on your top 10?
Is it not on my top 10? Could be on my top 10. That one might be on my top 10. We probably just haven't hit
top
it yet.
5.
You don't know that?
Let me find out.
You don't know that?
Find out.
You don't know that?
That's fucking nuts. You're nuts.
You don't
if it's anything,
you're nuts. You're nuts. You put it at number 6. You're fucking crazy.
Yeah, because I have more ahead of it.
You don't know what movies are. You don't know what cinema is.
I do.
You put
didn't even watch The Bear.
You put Fast X on your fucking top 10. I don't want to hear shit.
Because of Jason Momoa, who's a good ass actor. Go watch his Aquaman 2, or don't. I don't really give two shits.
He frolics twice in the movie, and you're just like, oh damn, this is fucking cinema.
It's not just because he frolics. It's because he's an actual fucking menace.
You were probably in there like this is the fucking Joker. This is him. This is the fucking Joker for sure.
When did I say ever he was the Joker? No,
you were probably one of those.
No, he's not the Joker to me.
Either which way, I think you're fucking crazy. That should not be right where it's at. But I will at least. I gotta calm down because at least you put Evil Dead Rise in the top 10, and that just shows me that that I can kind of respect you, but at the same time, how much crack you've been on the past few days.
I do smoke a lot of crack.
But number 6 for me, I'm giving it to Knock at the Cabin. From
If you guys could have seen my face just then, I'm sorry, but okay.
Coming from M. Night Shyamalan, coming back.
Yes.
Dave Bautista. Obviously, we've seen him as Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. What else have we seen him in? He's been in a few other movies. He's done a few.
The zombie one. With,
Army of Dead. Netflix.
And then he's been in a lot more as like smaller roles before this one.
Couple newcomers: Jonathan Groff and Ben Aldridge. Rupert Grant. He played Weasley, Ron Weasley in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And the rest of the cast is just basically not really known, but they've been in little projects here and there. So, one was in Pretty Little Liars. So if you guys want to check those out, check them out. But Knock at the Cabin, number 6. Though, I'm just one of those people that feel like M. Night Shyamalan can't do no wrong. I feel like every single movie that he puts out.
Why is it so low? That's my beef.
I don't think it's low. I think it's at a perfect spot because it did give us what we were looking for, which was that M. Night Shyamalan feel, but he didn't execute what we all thought was going to happen and give us a twist. And in this one, he didn't do that. That was the twist. I guess. I don't know, but he didn't give us that, so it was pretty much straightforward with that one. So you knew where he stood, and it was complex and everything, but it was predictable at the same time.
It was better than Old.
It was better than Old.
Yeah.
But I do prefer this one, and I didn't like how they shied away from the kills too. That was one thing in this one where the only kills that we got were all off screen. They kind of just edited away on all of them.
Their body dropped or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't understand because M. Night Shyamalan has never shied away from that shit before. So that kind of dropped it points for me. But at the end of the day, it was a good flick. Another M. Night Shyamalan flick down the pipeline. And for as much as it cost to make, it made a lot back. And I honestly thought this was
Shyamalan is the goat at spending under budget.
Under budget, getting a little bit and making it into a lot. So this one, it wasn't nothing crazy spectacular, but it was way better than a few of these movies for sure.
I don't know, man. I think 6 is too low.
Too low?
Too low.
Why is it too low? Why would you think that this is too low?
Because M. Night Shyamalan does his thing here.
He does what thing? He does his thing. But no, he doesn't. Yes, because if he did his thing, he would have had a twist at the end of this movie, and that did not happen. It would have been predictable if he did a twist. What do you mean?
The whole movie.
What do you mean? Look, man. When I go to a M. Night Shyamalan fast food restaurant, it's the main course with a drink and a side of twist. If I don't get the twist, I'm cheated out, bro.
No.
That's crazy.
It would have been predictable. Because the whole movie...
He does it with every fucking movie.
Yeah, but
if that's your signature stamp, I expect it.
Nah, it would have been predictable.
That's the Krabby Patty secret formula without the secret.
Let me tell you then, right? Okay. Unbreakable.
Okay.
We didn't expect Mr. Glass to be the one behind the train. Spoiler alert for Unbreakable. That's an old ass movie. You should have seen it by now.
Yeah. Fair.
What's the one he did? Split.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't expect what's his name to be tied into that either.
Mm-hmm.
Glass, right? We didn't expect there's a secret government place that knows about these hero beings or super strong beings, whatever the fuck, right? Another twist. And this one, it balances between is it or is it not, that if he would have done the twist on them, the way it ended, if it would have been not, you would have been like, okay, it means nothing. So he followed the route because he knew that you would have seen that shit coming.
And I get that. But
no, you don't, because you have beef with it.
No,
beef eating it.
I understand.
You fucking up that main course because you got beef.
I understand that point. I get that. Obviously, he was teeter-tottering throughout the movie about it. But that's because I'm assuming he's gonna about to fulfill the needs that the people want, and the needs that the people want is that twist, bro. I want the twist, and you just went from Unbreakable to Split. You jumped between movies. You didn't even say Old or anything like that. Old, The Village, all those movies. Every single movie in the cinematography has, in his filmography,
to be fair, everyone knows Split. That's why. If you're not an M. Night Shyamalan fan, you're not really gonna know those.
The Village, yeah, you would know. If you don't, you're just too young.
Maybe.
The Village was one of the greatest twists of that man's career. Everybody knows that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, not he would have expected it.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm telling you. If that's your trademark, you expect it.
No, that would have ruined the movie for you. I know it.
No.
Yeah.
Hell. Well, that's when we did a review. That was one thing that we were talking about, right? Was if he would have done it, would have that made the movie stale? Or if he didn't do it, would it have made the movie different? Is that what makes this movie different? And thinking about it now, and me making this list, and I was, trying to figure out where to put it, it didn't, because I would have preferred the twist, knowing that twist was going to happen. Now, just because I know it's going to happen doesn't mean I know what's going to happen after it. It was just more like, I expect, like, what if he took that teetering between the two twists, twisted it, and said that was actually never going to happen, but this actually happens? That would have been a crazy twist. He could have done something like that. But no, instead he decided to play the safe route and try to, juke you. And that's fine. It still landed fine. It didn't land like a, holy shit. It just landed like a, okay, I'm done with this movie. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something ain't right here. And it's you.
No, man. No. It just seems, it looks like to me from your list, it looks like to me, you just didn't have any options.
No, that's not true. That is not true at all.
But if you want, here's your chance to rebuttal my shit, or if you want, you can go ahead and spin the block on any of the other ones.
I'm so confused on that John Wick picking.
I'm not. It's not that good of a movie, man. It's not. Even like the ending too. I know that
Extraction 2 in top 5 now. So the fact that you think it's however many spaces higher than John Wick is fucking insane.
It's a better made movie. What can I tell you?
That's gotta be racist. I don't know. No. It's gotta be racially motivated.
I just hate tuxedos. That's the problem.
Yeah, no. That's fucking insane.
I'm still confused.
Do you have Evil Dead? You don't have Evil Dead Rise on your list.
I don't. That's another one I couldn't put on my list either. Because there was better movies than that one for me. The Evil Dead Rise, though I'm a horror fan, it's just it didn't do anything too special. It didn't do anything different.
A lot of my movies, if you noticed, they were in theaters. So I don't watch a lot of I mean we just talked about it, but I don't watch a lot of originals.
Straight to streaming kind of stuff. I get that. It's very how does it say? It's very risky, and I never used to do that either. But you know why I started doing that? Because it's hilarious. It's because of Nicolas Cage. He would, you know how he would just do a bunch of fucking movies out of nowhere.
The movie we watched where he's like a demon or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, Driving Angry. Yeah,
Driving Angry. Yeah, that shit was nuts. He was doing the jig and was not doing any motion, and then after it, he's like, "I'm always ready for a fight," and I don't know, he pulls out guns while still doing the deed. You're just like, "What the fuck, dude?" He
was getting tased while he was balls deep. It was crazy.
He doesn't know. He just does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. So, like, Nicolas Cage was that person. Like, Drive Angry was one of those that I took a chance on just because he was in it. You know what I mean? And it was straight to streaming too.
Even then, what's his name was in it? He's a pretty good actor.
That too, and if you notice, a lot of actors that go straight to streaming, like Bruce Willis and stuff like that, they'll do some with some of those actors, but some of them aren't good. Like the other one that I seen with Henry Cavill and Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Remember you
oh
said
yeah,
you
the one I
before?
told you I saw.
It wasn't good, and I was like, no, it wasn't really good. So I was like, damn, they really are just hit and miss. But when you find some that are actually good, that you could have been like, they could have made a buck out of this one, but they just didn't have the confidence in. It's hilarious. So, yeah, man, but that's why I take chances on streaming a little bit more now. So I'm just like, especially now with Hulu, I have a better or more optimistic view on it because of the fact that I know most of these movies are coming from 20th Century Studios.
I think what's crazy about that though is because you look at it as streaming as like, oh, there's an opportunity to watch like a new movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
While I look at it as, I can watch this when it hits streaming. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, because like you said, you're willing to take a chance on like straight to streaming or originals, while I'll be on Amazon one day and like say I read into Dungeons and Dragons, I'll be like, okay, I'll watch it, but that's because I didn't get to watch it. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I don't get you. I'm trying to understand. Explain one more time.
Okay, you know how you said you're willing to do straight to streaming movies,
yeah,
or just Netflix originals, Hulu originals, whatever, right? Those are more on your radar because you're interested in them. While I use streaming more for movies that I didn't get to watch in theaters.
No to the first one, yes to the second one. I do the same thing, so I like going to the movie theaters. That if I can watch those movies first, I watch those movies first. Streaming ones are movies for me that if there's nothing good in theaters, if I don't have the money to go watch it in theaters, I'm just going to go ahead and watch something new and entertaining that I haven't seen that may have, or may have new actors or may have the actors that I like within these movies. Like I said, I'm willing to take a chance for straight to streaming because I used to be that dude who took the chance on those $5 bin boxes at Walmart. You know what I mean? I used to, like, there's a few movies. If you look, if you guys don't know, I have like over 500 movies. Like I like physical copy.
He collects.
If you look at my roster of movies, there's some movies that are on there that you probably never heard of that you're just like, what the fuck is this about? And you'll look at it and you'll be like, what the hell? And more than likely, I only bought it because I knew the actors. I read something in the back of it that was interesting, and it was $5. It was cheap, so I was like, I'm gonna take it. So if it's free, if I'm already paying for the subscription and it's free, it's there. I'm more like, why aren't I getting the more bang for my dollar by watching these movies that they're putting out? You know what I mean? I think it's a cheap part of me too. There has to be a cheap part of me in there that's like, you know what, free shit. Why wouldn't I try it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna pass a free sample, basically. And it has Gal Gadot in it. Fuck it.
Basically,
yeah.
Interesting though.
Yeah, but let's go ahead. If you don't have anything more for
any beef with mine,
just the whole Fast X thing, man. I think that's crazy. I can respect the other ones, but the whole Fast X one that's a low for me.
Oh, man.
That's you. Now being able to find another movie to top that one, that's crazy.
There was other movies to top that one though. I told you 65 was almost there, but Momoa, to me,
it just kind of shines for you.
It's just a little better.
And you put that one at 10, huh?
9.
What's
65
your 10? Oh, it's your 10. Yeah.
And like I said, they're interchangeable. They could have fought for that spot, but I think Jason Momoa shines a lot brighter in a movie that isn't his than Adam Driver, where he's the main guy.
That's true too, yeah, because Adam Driver was kind of,
and like we know he can act.
Yeah,
he's a good ass actor. Like
I'm not saying he didn't act in that one.
No, he gave like a decent performance. But like I'm saying, like you can't give a decent performance as a main and then be upset that a dude who's not even like the main character in another movie just outshine. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If Vin Diesel was the gem in Fast X, that would have been 10 times better. But the fact that Jason Momoa is the bad guy and he's outshined everybody, is kind of like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
It gave you something to be like, all right, there's a little gem in all this nonsense. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can get behind that, I guess. But I mean, other than that, I think that's it. Let me repeat real quick. Just run them down. 10 to 6.
Oh,
what is it again?
So it's 65. It's Fast X. Mm-hmm. 65, Fast X, Air, Evil Dead Rise, and then Extraction 2.
Yeah, like 4 of those movies didn't even make my top 10. That's crazy. You don't know cinema.
You don't know cinema.
You don't know cinema. I'm about to spit on your list. Moving on though, let's go ahead and hit the top 5. Josh, what is your...
tell me top 5. You give me the 5th one.
I'll give you this one. Anyways, I flipped them off.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. My number 5 is Scream 6. My number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah,
Really?
Scream 6. Yes. That one, obviously, we know who is within this movie. We got Courtney Cox coming back as Gail, Melissa Barrera as Sam, Jenna Ortega's back, Jasmine Savoy Brown, basically the main cast of Scream 5.
Yeah.
Mason Goody's back. We see, kind of a spoiler, maybe not really, Skeet Ulrich comes back as Billy Loomis as well. The same directors come back for this one, and I will say right now, though, it did not do anything crazy. I find it to be a little bit higher up than Scream 5, and I have to give it all because of the fact that the setting is in New York. I think everything that happens and what makes this movie so good is the fact that it's placed in New York. And having Scream being able to run wild in the Big Apple is what just does this movie for me. It's a great movie, great kills. They didn't shy away of the stabbings or anything that was happening, the blood, all that. The twist was actually there. I will say the triple screams were just a little too much, but it wasn't completely unbelievable. Stuck to that formulaic route that they did with Scream 1 through 3 with the whole family being a part of it as well. So it mixed a little bit of the old with the new and really came out with a big hit, in my opinion.
That's fair. But I think top 5 is nice, but I think a little low for me.
A little lower for you?
Yeah. It's it's not a bad movie by all means, and I'm sure when October comes around we'll be all about ranking scary movies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I like this one a lot better than 5. Like the kills here were sick. Ghostface was a fucking menace. All 3 of them were kind of, you know what I mean? And like the kills here were fucking sick, and that kind of carries the Scream franchise. Like if you don't have good kills, it doesn't work. Like Evil Dead Rise, if you don't have bloody scenes and good kills, it doesn't work.
It falls flat, yeah.
Like you wouldn't watch a Jigsaw movie, 3 people die horrifically, and you're like, well, that's low as fuck. Like, get your numbers up, Jigsaw.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. you ain't gonna be up there with the real killers.
And Ghostface, Scream 6 comes out swinging kind of quickly.
Yeah, I really like the opening sequence with like Samara Weaving.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
And Flash Thompson, the dude who played
yeah,
Flash Thompson.
I like that they made their little cameos in there. It sucks, in my opinion. I think Samara Weaving would have been a better like main actor, but it is what it is. If they wanted to use her for a little nod, that was great in the beginning as well. But keep going. What were you saying?
No, that was basically it.
Yeah,
you like Jenna Ortega? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
I like her. I think she's good.
Yeah,
I want to see her in X just to see, what other things she brings to the table, because I haven't seen her in anything else besides.
I heard she kills it in X, but I just didn't get around to seeing it.
I haven't seen it either. I'm gonna, when the third one comes out, I'm just gonna buy the trilogy and just watch them then.
Okay.
I just haven't gotten around to it because I know it's Pearl, and then it's X, and then I think the third one's gonna be called Triple X or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever they give that whole pack out, I'll probably just buy them all and watch them then.
Okay. I liked her sister. I like her as an actress too.
Sam Barrera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no real beef with it. Just the rating again.
At number 5?
5 is crazy.
Too high? You're wildin'.
Too low.
Too low.
I think it's one of the better films of March.
So this one's gonna be a little bit higher up on your list. I think a little spoiler. What is your number 5 then, sir? I swear to God, if you're smoking a pack of Marlboros, bro, I'm mad.
My guy.
Marlboros?
Camels. No, but, it's John Wick. It's John Wick 4.
Newports. No.
You're like, never mind, straight crack. I don't know. Everything that you said about it, I feel very like opposite about. Like I like Danny Yen. While it is unbelievable, you kind of go to those movies for the unbelievability. I feel. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna shut your brain off and be like, "This is fucking sick" or whatever the fuck. Like I said, Bill Skarsgård. I like him as an actor. What was that? You just shook your head. Were you gonna say no?
I was gonna say no, but I didn't want to throw you off your trail, so go
You
ahead.
know, Bill Skarsgård. I think he's a really good actor. Man, like I hope he's Lex Luthor. I got like he's such a good fucking actor. His scenes with the what's his name were really good. Keanu Reeves, while he is a good actor, he's just I know he's just doing these movies for a check now. I hope this movie is like the last of the series and they just continue their spin-offs, because to bring him back would really do this movie a disservice, I feel. If you guys know how it ends, go ahead, but I'm not going to say it. But I feel like this one as a final chapter really works. It gives you everything you need and more as a final outing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, if they make this one the final one, 100% go with it. Leave it alone. Yeah, man. I would not have put it at 5. Nothing like if they would have done this type of movie in the first one and set the stage and the precedent with this, that this is what we're going to be expecting, it would have been different. But it seemed like every single movie that he came in, like you said, it seems like he's kind of like just doing it for a check. But every single movie that he would do now, it just would get more and more ridiculous. The first one, he had the fatigue, he would get hurt, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The second one, not so much. Third one, for realsies, no. And then now,
For realsies, no.
And then in number 4, it's like, he's God level. My boy's missing a finger and he's God level.
Yeah.
I think that number 3 would have lost me if they didn't have Halle Berry in it with the dogs. Even then, it was kind of losing me because the CGI dogs biting crotches and shit was kind of wonky. But I think that's what that one saved for me. This one, let's be honest, the ending for me really saved it, and I'm hoping that this is going to be the last one. And I could watch these movies, know that it gets a little ridiculous, but know that there's an end.
There's an end.
So,
I'm really like, sorry.
yeah. No, keep going.
I'm really looking forward to what the spinoffs are coming to, because I'm really looking forward to the Continental and the Ballerina.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to those two. I think this franchise should really end with that movie being the last one, and then just pick up somewhere else with a different assassin or whatever. Show us the tracker, show us Donnie Yen if they have to, but 5 feels solid for me.
Yeah,
because everyone, like I said, everyone else does well and gives a performance and makes me interested, not just the kills, which I know that the movie like this is what you're going for. And while Keanu Reeves, he's a good actor, but here he's just, like I said, he's dull. Every few lines, he's just like, yeah, or whatever. Bang, bang, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole soundboard right there.
Yeah. Basically.
And, but everyone else really carries this movie, I feel.
Yeah, because even his friend, the what's his name? I forgot his name off top, but his friend, the one that was helping shelter him in his Japanese hotel, like, he did a good job. I really liked them. I like some of the movie. It's just, it's not good enough to be that high. Number 5 is wild for me on your part, and no sir.
Shimazu, something like that. I have his name right here. Hiroyuki Sanada. That's the actor's name.
Very good.
And as the footnote of this movie, Lance Reddick. I know that's not his last performance. I think he has like somewhere in the game he's gonna be.
Yeah, Hellboy.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. Seeing him here was really nice. It really was like, wow, you know what I mean? Cemented that he was gone, and
sucks that that's how he went out in this one.
His character,
it was like, wow.
Yeah, but like I think
when I seen it, I was like, that's just so ironic. That's crazy.
And then giving him the send off in the movie was actually really nice too. Like they didn't just like, oh, he's dead. You know what I mean? Small spoiler, but 5 seems fitting though.
I wouldn't. I didn't.
I know you. I know. No. Moving on to 4 though.
Yeah,
since
number
you got
4.
Nothing to rebuttal.
Yeah, no. I told you everything already. So number 4, my number 4 goes to Super Mario Bros. And I gotta say, man, this is the year of animation. Or I thought it was until that Kraken one sank.
Here, Elemental's good.
But that one sank in the box office too. It'll probably be a streaming movie, and I think it might do good in streaming. I think that movie might do really well in streaming, but it's just a new IP, so it's not really going to do too well. But obviously, Chris Pratt as Mario, Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. She was in The New Mutants. If you guys never saw that one, because who would blame you? She was also in The Menu as well. So if you guys haven't seen The Menu either, she's in there as well. She's a really great actress. She's in a couple other movies.
Mutants.
That's what I said.
Oh, I liked her in New Mutants.
Nobody's seen that movie.
Yeah, but I liked her in there.
Nobody gives a shit about that movie.
Well, no. But, like, I think she did pretty good. Like, if she could come back as Magic, I'd be fine with that.
Oh, yeah. Jack Black's also in this one. He was in School of Rock, obviously. Charlie Day as Luigi. He was in, what is that one called? Fist Fight with Ice Cube. That one was hilarious.
It was a Horrible Bosses, right?
Horrible Bosses, yeah. Keegan-Michael Peele. All kinds of people in this one. And it was a spectacular movie. Very, very straightforward. So much like the game itself, and I also felt like if you didn't play the game, it was very welcoming.
It gives you that sense.
Yeah, like you can know what it was without knowing what the games were. And even if you were living under a rock your whole life, you can look at this stuff and be like, you can look at this stuff and be like, now I really want to play this game.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of fun scenes in it that I was like, damn, like I just want to get out of here and just play the game again.
That's cool.
And just the icing on the cake, obviously. Who can top that song? Peaches, 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 peaches. Come on now. Shit's fire.
I was going to say Tenacious D. Jack Black can sing. We know.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair. I will say that one didn't make my list. But it's good. I'm not discrediting it at all.
Did you ever get around to finishing it? I know you started it.
Yeah. I've seen it. I watched it illegally. Because I didn't want to borrow your DVD. But
okay.
But it was pretty good. I'm not knocking it or nothing. 4's top 5 is fitting. 4 really makes me wonder what your top 3 are, because if they beat out Mario, then I'm really curious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's a solid pick. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Animation is really kicking off this year. I know we have our own opinions about TMNT, the one that's coming out.
Yeah.
August. It's gonna go up against Blue Beetle.
Yeah. Blue Beetle's not winning.
But
TMNT might get it.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like the animation still throws me off there. But like I'd be down to go see it.
Okay.
Animation is really making a good comeback though.
Yeah, honestly I think a lot of people are starting to get down with animation.
Yeah.
I think that's why we're seeing a lot more like adult animated shows.
Like Across the Spider-Verse, Set the Precedent. I feel like I said that wrong.
No.
And then
no.
what?
No.
What do you mean no?
They did not set the precedent. You want to know who did? Pixar, DreamWorks, and Blue Sky. Now, RIP, they're no longer in business.
Well, as of recent years, hot take.
Blue Sky. Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
They did Ice Age. Everybody's been remodeling it after Ice Age.
Well, yeah, Ice Age. You know, however movies they spanned out before Blue Sky died.
5.
It's fine. Yeah, you would know that. No, but like I'm not knocking them, but as of recent years, what's gotten people in the seats? Across the Spider-Verse, Puss in Boots. I know we didn't see that in theaters, but Puss in Boots, the Last Wish, Across the Spider-Verse just now. Mario got you in the chair. Like it's coming back because of Spider-Verse. I feel
no.
Mm-hmm.
Animation has been doing wonders, and you know what? I fucked up because I'm gonna give it where credit's due. It's Illumination. They're running the game. They've been running the game from Universal. They are the ones who are innovative. I'll tell you the truth, and I think I told you before. Into the Spider-Verse didn't even hit my radar, bro. I seen that shit kind of like Puss in Boots. I seen the animation style, and I did not vibe with it whatsoever. I was like, this Spider-Man movie is not even gonna be that good. And then I wound up getting around to it during streaming.
I saw it in theaters, bro. That shit was good.
Yeah, well, because you're a Spider-Man fan, and you probably would have watched it regardless. But I'm pretty sure you didn't go in there because you were like, oh, the animation is so nice. I'm pretty sure once you walked out, you were probably like, damn, the animation was great. But when you first walked in there, it was just because Spider-Man.
It reminded me of Miles Morales. In the trailers, though. A lot of me was like, this feels like a comic.
Okay. Well, I that's fair. But
Mhm.
you probably didn't think like artistic wise, like different artistic styles besides comic. Whereas now in Beyond the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse, now you have more not just comic booky but artistic-y kind
Yeah.
of stuff. You know what I mean? So, with this one, with Super Mario Bros, I really feel like Illumination has set the precedent. And with animation in general, I feel like Illumination has been kind of spearheading animation as of recently. It's no longer Disney. It's no longer Pixar.
Mhm.
It has to be Illumination. And now we're getting all these extra, different variations of animation. But that's only because Illumination was able to show people like animation can be done well.
They're being carried by the Despicable Me franchise though.
No, The Secret Life of Pets is good too. Yeah, that
I
one
didn't
was.
see it. I think I saw like the first one, and then I
They're
was like,
both
that's fine.
good. And I think Sing is also carrying it too.
I watched Sing.
I haven't watched that one.
I know you don't like musicals, that's why.
Yeah,
But I watched both of them.
I think
Kind of
I
enjoyed
would.
them.
I think I would like it because I know it's a lot of like songs from real life. You
Yeah.
know what I mean, like Ed Sheeran and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But I'm just like, nah, I still can't.
Like Edgerton can sing. He's the gorilla. He
Oh
plays the
yeah,
gorilla.
I heard. Yeah, I heard he has. That's
if
why
you
he.
wanna-
That's
if
why he played
Elton John,
Elton John.
Rocket Man.
Yeah, there you go. Rocket Man.
Like, so yeah. I mean, if you ever get around to watching them, I would say watch it for him.
I probably
He
will.
does really good. But I guess we could see differently. I don't care.
yeah,
but animation is big.
yeah.
It's coming back.
So
It's being good.
yeah, and Super Mario Bros. Coming out and just dominating the box office, getting 1 billion.
Yeah.
Hitting 1 billion, the first one to hit it in
Mhm.
2023, and it being an animation.
Yep.
It speaks wonders what the brand does.
Set the bar.
Yeah, 100%. So with that, if you have no rebuttal, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Knock at the Cabin.
Oh, okay.
No, nothing to really be said that I didn't say before. Camera work is really cool. The story I really liked. I don't really care for the twist because I like I said, would have seen it coming. If you watch this movie and you think like, oh, it's boring, it's just another M. Night Shyamalan. No, it's actually really good. And Dave Bautista acts his fucking ass off in this movie.
He does do a good acting
He is
job.
such a good actor. He's really good at. He plays like a gentle giant here, which is like amazing because there's a few scenes, not to get too spoilery, but there's a few scenes where you really feel like he could fuck shit up, but he holds back. You know what I mean? Because he's not trying to come off that way, but he's a big man. He's just a dope ass actor, and I feel like you giving it that spot you did with like 6.
Yeah.
Like doesn't show that much appreciation. I get your view, totally fine, but like this movie deserves to be up there. I feel.
I did like the camera work because it did really give him a chance to shine because in this one he did a lot of straight at your face, and you just had to keep talking with the camera right there, and like the emotion, the facial expressions that they would do. Not just Dave Bautista, but he was a shining star for sure. But like everybody else that he did, even Ron Weasley, Rupert, whatever his name is.
Him coming back from like a hiatus, I'm pretty sure he did pretty good.
He did really well. Yeah. He was in I checked. He was in a couple other movies, but not big roles.
That's why
like little side things. So
yeah.
I will respect where you put it, but I still think we got the meal without the shake, and we should have gotten the shake for sure.
Shaky booty. No,
yeah.
but yeah, no. I really liked it. I also liked the dynamic of the couple, the two dads,
the daughter too,
and the real playing on belief and what you believe in. You know what I mean? The whole aspect they play on there. And then the ending really made me cry. I was like, that's actually really sad. What happens? Not to give spoilers, but and then the ending, the actual like where the story goes. I don't mind it. Like I said, I don't care for the shake, but yeah, number 4. That's where I put this one at.
Okay, no arguments or rebuttals with that one, but I will say we missed out on the shake. We should have got the shake for sure. But we're hitting our top 3. Now we're hitting this territory where I will punch you if you say the wrong words.
You better fucking not.
No. I will tell you already got one wrong. So you got 2 more tries, buddy. 2 more.
2 more tries.
Yeah. So with my number 3, I'm giving it, respectfully so, to Creed 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I dead ass wasn't expecting that one to make your list. I had to be real.
Okay.
But cool.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
3. Okay.
Yeah. Creed 3. Michael B. Jordan's
Mhm.
first directorial debut. He did really good. Michael B. Jordan coming back as Adonis Creed. We seen him as Killmonger in Black Panther. He came out in a Tom Clancy movie on Amazon recently. Tessa Thompson is also in here. She was also in the MCU as the Valkyrie. In Ragnarok. Jonathan Majors, the menace himself, and though I was hesitant to put him on this list, I wanted to at least give credit where the credit is due and say that he acted his ass off in this movie, and he did a fantastic job. So did Michael B. Jordan. The weight in this movie was amazing, and me coming into this movie, not seeing the first 2, the emotional weight that it carried, and then after seeing the first 2 and rewatching Creed 3, just it hits home so hard. It's a different take on a boxing film altogether. I didn't think that we could have added these extra layers. I think the last time we seen a little bit of something getting close to that was Southpaw with
Jake
Gyllenhaal. So seeing that Michael B. Jordan was still able to tell this compelling story and not use Sylvester Stallone as a crutch. You know what I mean? Because I did see those first 2, and watching them, it did seem like they were kind of using him as a crutch. So seeing them walk on their own, not having Sylvester Stallone in this one, and like I said, Jonathan Majors, I've seen him in Lovecraft Country. I've seen him in Ant-Man. He's a standout star regardless of whatever's happening to him in the real world, but this movie deserves where it needs to be, and I would say number 3 is where it's at.
Okay, that's fair. I don't really have notes. That's interesting.
No, but you agree with the points? At least?
Yeah.
Nothing to rebuttal, nothing at all? You don't think it should have been a little bit up the scale, 2 more points higher, 1 more point higher? No?
Not. I think it could have been higher, but top 3 is a solid choice. I understand top 3 is hard. Yeah, 2 movies got to bump it out. It's fine. Like I said,
you got to literally nitpick at that point.
Like I said, I thought I wasn't gonna make your list. Like I was like, he's totally gonna skip out on this movie, and I'm gonna have to hit him. But like the fact that it's there is like, okay, he appreciated it for what it was, which is really nice. Because like I said, I would have been really upset if it didn't make your list.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, but it was good. It was a good put on. Thank you so much.
Because I watched the second one in theaters, and I was like, I'm gonna drag you to this one.
Yeah, like it was good.
It was really good.
And hearing the punches in the theaters too, because we watched it on the premium screen, the IMAX. Hearing the punches, the boom, 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 boom. I was like, God damn, those punches gotta fucking hurt. Oh, dude, you already got me talking about it a little bit more. That scene where he punches him in the gut and the water falls off his back. Jesus Christ, bro, that shit was crazy. All right, keep going.
Really good stuff.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Scream 6.
Okay, you put it up higher. I get all right.
That was my big thing though, because I was like yours seems kind of low, which is fine. Top 5. Again, movies got to start trickling where they got to go, right?
Yeah, they're starting to. They got to fall in line at one point.
But I really like this one. Jenna Ortega does her thing. Like I said, I like the sister. Everyone here kind of does their thing. The kills carry it for me heavily, because even though I'm not a big like horror fan, when I see a good kill, I'm ready to give it its flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really feel like this one really does it. It makes Ghostface brutal, which I loved. It was kind of refreshing seeing it in the 5th one, and in the 5th one they were like people behind the scenes must have been like, they liked it that much, let's take it out the park here. Like the whole scene with the ladder, fucking A, right? Like really good stuff. Everyone here really does their thing. I can't wait for 7. The fact that it does take place in the Big Apple gives that new setting. You know what I mean? Because they could have totally made it the Big Apple, but confine it to like just the apartment or whatever.
That's what I thought the vibe was gonna be, like them confined into an apartment
Yeah.
complex or something.
But no, they made Ghostface actually a part of the
that
city.
bodega scene, man, that
The
shit
bodega
was.
scene.
My boy said, "What shotgun?" I was like, "Damn,
Blew
bro."
that fool's face off. That's not a total spoiler. We
It was in the trailer.
But like it was raw, and you're like, it really made you feel it because you've never seen that shit before. Like Ghostface with a gun, that shit is wild. So yeah, top 3, number 3.
Okay.
I think it deserves it to be there.
See, and I will not get mad that you put it that high because I respect, like I said, horror. I respect horror, and anybody who puts horror up there, I'll give it to them. But I gotta say, sometimes some movies gotta beat it out. But this one obviously fell in line for you, and that's fine with me. I respect the top 3 spot.
Yeah.
My number 2, probably another, rightfully so, or kind of weird. Maybe my brain just wanted it to match OCD or whatever. But Extraction 2 as my second spot. This one really upped the ante for me. Still gave us that realism that we got from the first one, and cranked it up to 10 with the second one. I love the acting. I said it to you in the car ride as well that it doesn't do anything crazy complex, but it does have a couple layers to it, and I think the one aspect that kind of drew me back a little bit, but I knew they had to do it in order to keep going, was that whole the whole backstory with him not being able to remember his kid.
Yeah.
Because within the movie, spoiler, just a tiny one, they kind of, the way that his motivation kind of goes away from the first part was they put it on a disc, and I was like, if he had it on a disc this whole time, what the fuck?
There was no point to have a shaky memory about
exactly.
It.
So I would say that's where it kind of dropped a little bit of points for me, but I understand, like, as soon as I finished the first one, I already understood, like, they were on shaky ground. They didn't know whether he was coming back. They didn't know if he was, they should have shot him in a different spot if they were going to bring him back instead of,
I did like they gave him that tattoo.
I like it too, and then I like too that they actually took the time to rehabilitate him as well.
Yeah,
like show that he's not indestructible. He needs time and he needs to recover. So great movie overall. Like I said, I like that they. Sorry, I didn't even say the actors or anything, but obviously we said Chris Hemsworth as
Thor.
Tyler Rake. He was Thor. Her name is insane. Gul Shifete Farhani. She played Nick Khan. She came back as his handler, and I like that they played on Adam Bass's Yas Khan's and her relationship as brother and sister. That was really good. Sam Hargrave obviously came back to direct. He had a blink and you miss it cameo in this one as well. I don't know. You seen him?
I think I picked it out.
Did you pick him out?
Yeah.
He has like a beard on or whatever. He always rocks that beard. But really loved it. It was good, and they kept it kind of they took what we didn't like from the first one and removed it and made it better on the second one. You got that bright colors, right? We didn't get that piss fucking screen anymore.
Annoying ass.
We got an actual colorful city. It didn't feel like it was Mr. American coming to save an Indian boy, you know what I mean, anymore. Which I did read that was a big turnoff when it first came out, apparently. Not apparently, obviously.
I mean, it makes sense. Sorry to throw you off, but like that's just internal affairs. You know what I mean? Like,
I get that. I was like,
it's too political for people.
I guess for me at the time, I was just like, oh, it's an action flick. I didn't really think how it would have. Yeah,
it would have been a lot to
very touchy, very touchy.
Like, why is an American interfering where he's not supposed to? Whatever.
So, but yeah, they really upped the ante. And seeing Chris Hemsworth fucking take down a helicopter with a minigun, that has to highlight somebody's fucking day someday. You know what I mean? Like, somebody watching it, they're just gonna be happy watching that shit. But I highly recommend watching this movie. If you guys seen the first one, highly recommend watching the second one. Could not take my eyes off of it, especially with the extra scenes and the hand-to-hand combat that happens in these movies. It's one of those movies that I love to rewatch again and again for the action, because you can see the little details that you missed from the first time.
It had a lot of good action scenes. I'm not gonna take away from your spot, because I think it's kind of valid, even though mine ended up where it ended up. other movies have to fall in line. That's just my take on it. Like 9 or 10, 9, 8, and 7, whatever. But like I think, although top 5 is usually where the people are like, "Well, what's your top 5?" But like 1 through 6 were really just like tough to pin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And although mine ended up there, I can admit like it had some cool stuff, like the scene where his arm's on fire and he's like delivering that 2-piece, 4-piece, 6-piece. I think
in the
like,
jail yard. Damn.
Yeah, like that whole sequence went sick.
Yeah.
So like I'm it was really good. I'm not knocking your choice for that.
I will say there was one scene where I was like, WTF. It was the train scene, and it was the same thing where like the helicopter shooting at him. He kind of turns to the side like if something was blocking him while the helicopter was shooting him.
Yeah.
But it was just a ladder. Yeah. And the bullets didn't even hit him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the fuck?
What threw me off about that train sequence is if you look hard enough, I know you're probably gonna pick it at it now when you go back to rewatch it, but the train sequence, Chris Hemsworth is doing his thing, but in the back the brother is like fake struggling with the dude. You're probably gonna you're probably gonna pick it out when you see it again.
I'll probably rewatch it.
It's a little nitpick that had me. I was like, okay, he's not even like trying with the dude back there.
He's just over there dancing.
I think at when the camera pans, you can kind of see him like let go, and then it's over. And then like obviously when the camera pans back in, he's still fighting him. But like it's a little nitpick for me. I was like, okay, he's not even trying back there. You know,
my boy's watching the extras and not the main action. God damn it!
Well, it's
no wonder it's so high up on your list.
Well, it's hard to like notice that. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of I know people will shit on it, but you know the Last Jedi scene.
It usually takes me a second viewing to catch it.
That's why with the Last Jedi scene, you know how they were like, oh, they didn't choreograph it right or whatever, or even in like. I think in the prison scene, I noticed a few times where they're not like really fighting. You know, and you just pick it out because you're getting distracted. But at the same time, you've seen it enough to where you're like, what's going on in the back?
Yeah,
and you can kind of see it.
Yeah, it usually takes me a second.
Yeah, but I noticed that with the train scene, and that was like my only time. And I was like, okay, he's not even trying back here.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
He's not getting paid the big bucks to fight. I guess
he's not in front and center. He's good. He's good what he's doing back there.
Yeah.
But what is your number 2, my man?
Creed 3.
Okay, higher than mine. Just one more.
Yeah. I really like this one. Again, I had the pleasure of seeing the second one in theaters. The first one, no. But I really liked... again, we know he's probably a criminal. But Jonathan Majors stood out here for me, too. Really good fucking actor, man. His drama aside, his flowers should be deserved regardless. Mm-hmm. He does this thing here. Michael B. Jordan. He has such a good eye, dude. Like, I hope he continues his directing career. But, like, he's such a sick actor, too. The fact that he could do both. Because you would think, like, being behind the camera would dull your, like, one thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's either you're a full-on actor or you're a full-on director. Like, you never really hear that.
Yeah.
And usually it suffers. You suffer because you're not sure where to focus. But he gave it his all here.
Yeah.
He was able to put in the anime stuff that he wanted. He delivered a good story. Jonathan Majors and him had really good chemistry. I liked where Tessa Thompson's character went, right? Like this whole movie was just really fucking good. And you brought up Southpaw, another great boxing movie, but like this one, as part of the Creed franchise and like I know a little spin-off from the Rocky franchise, it really sets the tone of where boxing movies can go. Like it's just as groundbreaking as Southpaw.
I will say, out of all 3 of them, the Creed 3 is the top for me.
Yeah.
And I'll put Creed 3 above Southpaw as well, even though I love Southpaw.
Okay.
But Creed 3, I think, because Jonathan Majors really gave it his all, I think it's one of the... Like I said, the first 2 just felt like they were being crutched too hard. Like, they were leaning too hard on Stallone.
I think the first one was...
First one for sure. The second one, it felt like it was like a... All right, let go now. And they were like, not yet, you know? And it was...
Bitch, I said let go.
Yeah. And so in the third one, finally letting it go and letting Michael B. Jordan just take it where he wants to take it. And knowing where it might go now with his daughter and everything like that. Like, it just gets me hyped. That movie, well deserved the second spot.
For
but
sure.
I had to put it in third.
That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, really good movie. Like go check out the 3. The first and second one, but 3 is definitely where it's at. And I told you, like, the second one, like, to me, I don't think it felt Rocky was a crutch. I felt like he was just there. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Sure, towards the end, he has a part to play to motivate Creed.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I like the dynamic of the Russian and Creed, and then what that meant for his father and stuff.
Yeah.
And even then, like just as good as the fight scene was, the boxing match was between, Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan had the same effect in Creed 2 with the Russian and Michael B. Jordan. Sorry, I don't know the Russian's name. I'm sorry. But, like, both of those the boxing matches were sick. You know what I mean? Like, they both had weight to them, and, you know, it was really sick.
Mm-hmm.
What put the cherry on top for Creed 3, though, was just Michael B. Jordan's touch as a director.
Yeah, that
like,
little extra anime touch
really helped, I feel.
it really
Like, I know you don't watch anime,
Yeah.
and a lot of the references probably went over your head, but, like, even as a casual fan, I feel like you can appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Well, he picked the right ones to adapt. I think the only one that I remember I was just like, that was a little too far, and it was kind of stupid. Was
the
when
double punch.
The double punch, the one where he's punching him
Yeah.
and he's punching, and I get it. It's because they know each other so well that they're gonna hit each other in the same spots or whatever. But I just thought that was just a tad too far. They had me, and then but it wasn't too far to the point where they completely lost me. I was
Yeah.
still able to come back. I think that was just the one where they could have completely cut.
I liked how it kept going back. I'm sorry, we're like dipping into spoiler territory, but we already did a review on this, so who cares? But like the dynamic.
If you guys want to listen to that one, go check it out.
Yeah, the dynamic between like where him and Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan's characters would like flashback to when they were young and then show them still boxing in real life. That whole sequence was sick. It was so fucking cool. This movie deserves its flowers all the way.
Yeah, 100%. It did something special. It did something special. But
Number one.
So here we go. Drum roll, please. My number one is The Flash.
No word. I'm out.
I'm kidding. I'm just joking. It's Ant-Man 3.
Okay.
What, you don't think Jonathan Majors could carry a movie?
No, not entirely.
Okay, no.
Not enough to make it number
Nothing
one.
nothing could have saved that movie. But for realsy this time, my number one movie, I have to give it to it. We watched it twice in the theaters, Across the Spider-Verse.
That's my number one also.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so
So
we're
we
in
can just
agreement.
gush over this movie now.
Okay, all right. Hey, put it away, man.
No.
Put it away.
No.
It stays out. So
Every time we bring it to the conversation.
this one, and like we were talking about it with Mario Bros.
Yeah.
But animation has just taken off. I
Mhm.
think animation is starting to be respected a little bit more.
Yeah.
As obviously we're dudes, we're boys, girls as well. When they're kids, they watch cartoons. Once you grow up a little bit more, cartoons kind of come obsolete, and you just want to see everything in live action. But I think that there's some things that you can tell in animation that you can't tell in live action, and that's a good multiverse story.
Yeah.
Like you were able to get all these different Spider-Man, different styles, different feels in this one movie, while Marvel's been trying to do this for 3 different films.
Yeah.
And they're gonna take another stab at it with Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
That we just seen the Flash try to take a stab at it,
Mhm.
which, granted, I feel like the Flash did that multiverse thing a little bit better. Even though we find the Reeves thing to be disrespectful, and even though that's the Nick Cage cameo is kind of cringe a little bit, you can't deny it's a little cool that you can tell that these are all its own separate worlds. You know what I mean? So with this one, you obviously off the back, animation helps it be more distinguishable. You're able to tell, not have those little nitpick moments where certain things aren't happening because everything's animated to a T. It's just great, and I know a lot of people say it can't be the best because it's a cliffhanger ending, but honestly, the way that they were able to wrap up at least Gwen's story and start off anew and kind of leave you at that cliffhanger where it left you, and I don't want to spoil it because it's a big twist.
Yeah.
And I think everybody deserves to watch this movie on its own. And I think we did a review on it, right?
Yes.
If you guys really want to spoil for you guys, go check out the review. We have a review for it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this movie just did the multiverse story correctly, and it did it 100% right, and it was all thanks to animation. And for the first half of January, this one's going to be number 1. I don't know where it will land by the end of the year, but as for now, this one has to be the one that's spearheading 2023.
For sure. The rest of the year is still going to go on, but this one really, we watched it twice. This shit is memorable for sure. Like, what the animation does is so good. The soundtrack even better. Each scene was just heavy-handed. You know what I mean? Like, Hobie has his own style. Gwen had her own style. Miles, our Miles had his own style. Like, there was a lot of things going on where you were just like, damn, that is really cool. And even the cameos, you know what I mean? Like, sure, cameos can be a footnote. When you do it as bad as The Flash, they're not a footnote. But like, this movie did it correctly. She gave us a lot of stuff you weren't even expecting. Even if you're an obscure Spider-Man fan, like, not obscure, but if you're a huge Spider-Man fan, you're gonna point out something immediately.
Yeah.
And even if you're not a huge Spider-Man fan, and you're just like, I'm gonna just go watch a Spider-Man movie. I think along the lines, you're still gonna see something and be like, "Oh, that's fucking cool." Yeah. Childish Gambino, like, you know what I mean? Like that would really tie in someone. And this movie just does what it does what Into the Spider-Verse does, but 10 times better. And John, just for you, if you end up hearing this, you're dead wrong for thinking it needs a finisher for sure, because that's what he said. He said it's not complete, so he can't give it a rating. That's bullshit. It's not like Fast X, where Fast X, you need that part 2 to be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? This one can stand on its own perfectly. This movie could have flopped, and I still think it would have been fine.
Yeah, because that ending would have made you be able to think what could happen next. It'll leave you yearning for more.
Yeah.
Fast X ending,
it doesn't do that.
No, it just leaves you like...
Dom can die, and then, like, it'd be over.
Yeah, if you leave it at where it's at, you just assume they all survived. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just assume, whereas there's some real stakes happening in Across the Spider-Verse that doesn't happen in that one. Same thing with, like I said, if we want to put it between its respective playing field, the multiversal movies that have been being pumped out, this one just has that feel like there's actual danger.
Yeah.
Like, things can actually hurt. Yes. Even that whole glitching in between timelines and stuff like that, or dimensions, whatever, that gives a sense of real danger. And it's not something that's mentioned in the beginning, like calorie count thing, and then never used again. Like it happens throughout the movie. One time a little too conveniently, but able to be overlooked 100%. But for the most part, this movie 100% deserves the spot where it's at, the spot that it's at. I understand by the end of the year, there's better movies probably. Change. Yeah, there's probably better movies out there. But if this movie can stand the test of time, plus we didn't talk about this with the other movies, but rewatch value. This movie, along with the first one too. Yeah, I'm still rewatching that movie and catching little things. Yeah. Whereas this one, I can't wait until it's on Blu-ray so I can watch it a few times and catch every single Spider-Man, every single I want to see if there's a Spider-Man that I wanted. Like, even though they put a good chunk of them that I wanted in front and center, they knew what the people wanted. I just want to see this movie again, and the rewatch value is there. You can rewatch it multiple times.
Yeah, definitely has rewatch value.
Like, it hits every time, too.
It's so good. Like, this movie will tie you in for sure. Can't wait for the sequel, man.
Yeah. But with that, I mean, there is some movies that we didn't get around to. Obviously, we didn't get around to, like Guardians of the Galaxy. So the Boogeyman, like I was saying, there's still a few movies out there. Infinity Pool is still on my list. I got to watch that one. There's still some out there that could change and move this list around. We don't know. We don't know it. We don't know what the future holds. But at least for now, this is our top 10 for the year so far. Yeah. Some honorable mentions that I kind of just want to throw out there, just because they were on my mind, but couldn't really
didn't land anyway.
They didn't land on my top 10, but obviously 65. That's one of them. Shazam 2, even though as not as good as they made it sound it was gonna be, it still did a little bit of something for me. I can still nitpick it, but it was still a worthy sequel in my opinion. It just it got drowned in the drama. Oh well. Obviously Fast X is an honorable mention because of Jason Momoa, but other than that, not really. Air is an honorable mention. I didn't put it on here. Evil Dead Rise, House Party, Ant-Man 3, for sure. Only for Jonathan Majors. That's it. House Party, it's just a hilarious fucking movie.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg's in it at one point. Like, it's a funny little kickback if you like those, like, Friday and all that stuff. It's a good little movie. Movies to avoid, though. I got a list of movies to avoid. In the same category, Ant-Man 3 is also a movie to avoid. You People is a movie to avoid.
Oh, yeah. Avoid that at all costs.
Cocaine Bear. I
didn't finish it.
I personally didn't like it, but I'd say avoid that one.
If that's your cup of tea, sure.
Little Mermaid, avoid that one, obviously. It wasn't good.
Little Mermaid, it's not good. Like, it's not groundbreaking. It's not too good. But honestly, watch it for Melissa McCarthy, I feel.
Okay. And I would say for the younger audience, they'll probably enjoy it for
Yeah.
sure. Like kids and stuff.
Yes. But Melissa McCarthy really carries that movie, which is crazy.
Yeah. Avoid The Flash.
At all costs. Don't watch The Flash.
If you want a decently told multiverse story,
Or if you want to throw up,
go watch The Flash.
Go ahead.
But if you want a well done multiverse story, go watch Across the Spider-Verse. Way better, done well. It's crazy that they put this movie out not even a couple weeks. They put The Flash out not even a couple weeks after Across the Spider-Verse, and seeing them doing it right and having to go and sit through The Flash, fucking stupid. That was dumb.
Across the Spider-Verse beat The Flash's ass. And then Transformers came out, and then they beat the fuck out of The Flash. So
And the last don't watch is White Man Can't Jump. Don't watch that one.
Oh,
That's just
dude, don't watch that.
hot ass. So
It's so garbage, man. Watch the classic one. Watch the
Yeah,
old one with
the classic Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson and Blade.
Do you have any honorable mentions on your list? Any that you watched that just couldn't make the cut?
No, nah, not really.
No.
Everything else to me was kind of average. Like I we didn't talk about Megan. I don't know if you watched that one. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, but that was a 2022 movie.
Was it?
Yeah.
Thought it came out in January.
Nah.
No.
It was on the platforms on January, but it came out
Oh.
in November or something.
Oh,
so.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Could have sworn.
But I did watch it.
Could have sworn it came out in January.
It was on streaming in January.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's weird.
That's when it hit Peacock.
Okay,
That's when I watched
I
it.
didn't watch it.
I thought it was a 2023 movie too because I did watch it in January on
Mhm.
Peacock, but it wasn't straight to streaming and
okay.
theater release.
Yeah, no. Then I guess not. Avoid those movies we talked about. Avoid Outlaws or The Outlaws.
Yeah, avoid that one
That
too.
shit was
It's
hot
on
ass.
Netflix. Just don't do it. Don't do it. That shit's not good.
That's about it.
But
I
yeah,
know there's a lot more. I think HBO Max has one with Sydney Todd, whatever the fuck her name was, the blonde chick from Euphoria.
oh, the one on HBO Max.
Yes.
I want to see that one.
Like I heard that one was pretty decent,
yeah, I gotta watch that one.
and she's a good actress.
Reality, I think it's called.
Yeah, I heard she's a good actress.
Yeah,
Not just for her stuff in Euphoria, but she's pretty good.
she's gonna be in that new Madam Web movie too.
Yeah, so she's making her name for herself. I'd say check that one out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
Yeah, very good. With that though, that is our mid-year top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 150 in the bag. Is there any movies out there that we probably missed that we haven't watched? A movie that you guys thought should have been in our top 10? Did you think Josh had a trash list? Did you think I have a trash list?
Yeah.
Did you think Flash should have been number 1?
Oh fuck.
Josh, let them know where they can let us know.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. We post our new episodes drop. You can hit us up there. For any news or movies you want us to cover, or tell us our lists were wrong. That'd be fine too. Listen to us on the go: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts at FilmBros Podcast. Subscribe on our Buzzsprout. Links are in the bios of the socials I just gave you. We'd really appreciate it. You get shout outs, special perks, the works. And when it's all said and done, subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
Yeah, and we will talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.